Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you want to talk about the past in English, right? Tell stories about what you did? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We'll break it all down, make it super simple, and get you telling your own stories in no time.
So, let me ask you something. Ever have one of those moments you had an awesome day, you saw something incredible, or, you just want to share what you did yesterday, but when you go to say it in English, the words just don't come out right? Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, guess what? There's a super simple key to unlocking all of those stories, and it's called the simple past tense. This is the magic wand that lets you talk about anything and everything that's already happened.
All right, let's get into it. And first up, let's talk about why this is so important. Because, this isn't just about boring grammar rules. It's about actually connecting with people. Think about it. The simple past is basically your storytelling tense. It's how you tell your friend about that hilarious thing that happened at the coffee shop, or explain what you did at work, or just talk about the movie you watched last night. It's what turns these little moments into memories you can actually share.
Okay, you ready? Let's dive into the nuts and bolts, and we're going to start with the easy part first. I mean, really easy. A huge chunk of English verbs follow one very simple, very reliable rule.
And these friendly verbs are called regular verbs. The name pretty much says it all, right? They're regular, they're predictable, and honestly, they're going to be your best friend when you're learning the past tense because they always follow the same pattern.
And here it is, the magic rule. It's literally just 2 steps. You take the verb, the basic one, and you just slap an ed on the end. That's it, seriously.
Just look at how this works. Walk becomes walked, play becomes played, watch becomes watched, and listen becomes listened. See that pattern? It's so consistent. Now, a little pro tip here, that ed ending can actually sound a few different ways when you say it. Sometimes it's a T sound, like in walked. Sometimes it's a D sound, like in played. It's a small thing, but it'll make your pronunciation sound way more natural.
All right, so you've totally got the easy part down. But what about the rebels? The verbs that just refuse to follow the rules? Yeah, let's go meet them.
Okay, so on one hand, you've got our predictable regular verbs, but on the other, you have the irregular verbs. These guys are unique. They do not follow our simple ed rule. Nope, each one has its own special past tense form that you just kind of have to memorize. But don't panic. We're just going to start with the most common ones you'll be using all the time.
So yeah, an irregular verb is just a verb that doesn't play by the rules. It doesn't add ed, it completely transforms in its own special way. You can almost think of them as having their own little personalities. And here's some of the big ones. You never say good, right? You say went. You don't say eated, you say ate. See becomes saw, have becomes had. These are absolutely essential, and I bet you already use some of them without even thinking about it.
Okay, time for the final section. This is where the magic really happens. Let's see how this all comes together to build a real story. We're going to mix our predictable regular verbs with those unique irregular ones. So we can kick off our story like this. And boom, right away, we've got our first irregular verb, had. See? Not halved, but had. That one little word instantly puts the whole story in the past.
So what happened next? First, I walked to the cafe. Well, check out that ed at the end. That's our good old reliable regular verb just doing its job.
And what happened at the cafe? I saw my friend there. Ah, there's another one of our special irregular verbs. Remember, we don't say seed, we say saw. And what did we do with the friend? We talked for an hour. And just like that, we're back to a friendly regular verb. Just add ed to talk, and you're describing what happened.
And to wrap up the little adventure, then I went home. And there it is, the past tense of go, probably the most common irregular verb of them all, went.
So you see what we did there? It's not about choosing regular or regular. The real key to telling a full, natural-sounding story about your past is using them both together. They're like the building blocks for talking about your yesterday. And that pretty much wraps it up. We've looked at the rules, and we've looked at the rule breakers. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. I just told you a little story. Now it's your turn. Using everything we just covered, what did you do yesterday? Go on, try to tell your own story. Thanks for hanging out with me today.